So we've got an insane development in this AllStar JR situation. If you didn't know the story, you probably already do at this point, but there was a big altercation between a bunch of guys in Houston, guys from the NBA crew, which is Youngboy's crew. OG3's birthday party was going down. He was there with Ben 10, a known shooter from Youngboy's camp. Apparently, Jay Prince Jr., Houston legend, tied in with the mob ties, a very serious kingpin family figure from Houston. It all ends up popping off with a Detroit rapper called AllStar JR. Apparently there's baby mama drama between AllStar JR and Jay Prince Jr. They're trying to jump JR for his chain, Ben 10 and them, and then the tables end up turning. AllStar JR, he managed to grab the gun in the tussle somehow and open fire at Ben 10. Well, now it's come out that AllStar JR has been arrested, and apparently he shot Ben 10 while he was on the ground. Now, there was rumors that he stood over him, but it sounds like it might be the case that he actually neutralized the threat, walked away, and then walked back to try and execute Ben 10, and he would actually be dead if AllStar JR didn't run out of bullets. It's very crazy, and I've got all the paperwork and everything. I'm going to break it all down to you. There's even pictures of AllStar JR in what looks to be an attempted murder scenario, but let's find out. So this is the full article from the Detroit News. I'm going to break this down to you article by article. All right, I'm going to tell you the whole timeline. But this was the local reveal that AllStar JR had actually been arrested. It says Detroit rapper AllStar JR charged after Houston restaurant shooting. And there he is. They got surveillance images. We haven't got footage, but we've got stills from the surveillance footage that the feds apparently have. So it says a Detroit rapper accused of opening fire in a Houston restaurant is now facing federal gun charges after investigators say the incident was caught on surveillance video and followed by taunting social media posts. So all of that posting and dissing might not work out too good for our guy AllStar JR in the end. It says, according to a criminal complaint, Jeremy Christopher Ford, also known as AllStar JR, is charged with being a felon in possession of a firearm. So he's not been charged with attempted murder. All right, and it says felon in possession of a firearm, but if he wrestled the firearm from someone else and they've not hit him with attempted murder charges, he might beat that. But it says investigators say the shooting happened around 11:23 p.m. on April the 8th, 2026 at a restaurant on Kirby Drive in Houston. When officers arrived, they found one person inside suffering a gunshot wound to the neck and another in the parking garage with multiple gunshot wounds to the hand and leg. Both were taken to the hospital. Police say a trail of blood led from the dining area to the elevator and into the garage, and at the scene, officers recovered a Glock 43X handgun, a magazine, a holster, and multiple spent shell casings and bullet fragments. According to investigators, surveillance video shows Ford inside the restaurant before a group approached him, leading to a confrontation. And during the altercation, authorities say several people appeared to grab his necklace and a watch, escalating the situation. Okay, it sounds like they got the necklace, but not the watch, because he said you could have got that Prezi, but you didn't. But he did say that Ben 10 took the jewelry to the hospital with him. Anyway, it says at some point a handgun fell to the floor during the fight. Investigators say that Ford picked it up and began firing as people ran. One man collapsed after being shot while others fled towards the elevator, and authorities say Ford continued firing, including additional shots in the direction of another person who was running away. The complaint then alleges that Ford returned to the injured man and fired additional rounds at close range while he was lying on the floor. Investigators say he later pointed the gun again but appeared to be out of ammunition, and we're going to see an image of that. It says the court documents also allege he struck the man with the handgun and spit on him before leaving. So they're saying he pistol whipped him. Could be assault with a deadly weapon. Sounds like attempted murder if he actually tried to shoot him on the ground for the last time and kill him, and the gun was out of ammunition. It says authorities say a third person believed to be a bystander was also shot, but suffered non-life-threatening injuries. Now, we've not heard anything about this third person who was shot, and that does change things. Does make you think, maybe it wasn't too self-defense after all, and innocent people are getting hurt. It says hospital officials told investigators that one of the injured victims had his finger amputated due to the gunshot wound and suffered severe leg injuries. So that is dead-end Ron. And as we saw in the hospital, it appeared to show from his wound, from his bandage that he showed off his hand, that he was actually looked like he was missing his index finger. And said another victim, as of April 15th, did not have feeling in his legs. So that supports the theory that Ben 10 was actually paralyzed, and we haven't seen a image of Ben 10 standing up. But what we can see here, obviously the body is blurred and he is still alive, but this appears to show AllStar JR shooting at Ben while he was on the ground. This is a pretty vicious attack. All right, I think maybe he could argue that maybe he thought Ben had a gun, maybe he didn't realize that that was Ben's gun, maybe it wasn't Ben's gun, maybe he thought his life was still in danger. But the way that that person's laying, I don't know if I'm believing that. It says investigators say Ford fled the scene in a white Cadillac Escalade before officers arrived. The affidavit also states that after the shooting, Ford allegedly posted multiple videos on social media appearing to taunt those involved. involved. Investigators say he later released a music video referencing the shooting, including lyrics about the incident and what authorities describe as a reenactment. Officials say Ford has a prior felony conviction in Michigan, which makes it illegal for him to possess a firearm. He was arrested as the charges are pending. So news of his arrest is spreading all over Reddit, of course. And this is the update. People in Chirac College are saying, free JR. All right, it says self-defense. Are they doing this because bro's making a mockery of the situation? It says, I mean, if you shoot someone in self-defense, you're supposed to call the police, not get on the net and troll. So, people saying Gucci Mane buried Pookie Loca in an elementary school right by his house and still got away with self-defense. Now, I don't know if it was the burying. Okay, I don't think the burying is true. I think maybe the guy ran into the woods near the crib and was found. But anyway, that's a story for another video, which we've already covered. People saying it's federal. Damn. Out-of-state warrant. Okay, they're saying it could be FBI charges. They're saying he could claim self-defense, especially in Texas. A known crash-out serial killer coming for you needs to be handled immediately. He has more of a claim than Lil Tim did. That's what they're saying, right? So some people, they're saying Jay Prince, the police. I ain't seen no proof of that, really. But people saying free the innocent, right? Feds charged Detroit rapper AllStar JR after Houston restaurant shooting, and social media posts. And everyone's posting that image saying, bro is not getting off on self-defense. How the F is Ben even alive? But it says felon charged with possession, nothing about shooting. It says felon in possession, so I'm boxed in. Saying he getting wild with that bitch. Damn, did he really stand over, dog? No cap in his stuff. But they're saying, how did he not kill him? He ran out of bullets. It says feds tainted their own claim in the complaint, said he took the gun from them, yet they're charging him for possession. I don't know how this is going to stick. Most likely JR threw that bitch away afterwards too. If he left with the weapon after the altercation, that's 100% possession. It says they probably do got him on cam walking out with it in the heat of the moment. He probably didn't think of all of that though. People saying he didn't leave with it. And the officers actually recovered the gun at the scene. So yeah, they're saying it's crazy. Yeah, he really did spit on him. That's actually insane. So I've got a post here. I don't know if this is the full paperwork, but this is apparently a bit of the paperwork. Shout out to Witty Apparatus with that. All right. So it says federal documents detail the shooting incident involving AllStar JR. Affidavit reveals timeline. So it says officers retrieved the videos of the incident via security cam footage provided by restaurant staff and provided copies to the FBI. Upon reviewing the footage, I observed Ford at the table of the restaurant with a female. Ford and the female get up from the table and walk out of the frame towards the elevators. Ford then re-enters the frame and appears to be talking on the phone. A group of individuals follow behind Ford, and the group begins to crowd Ford and appears to be talking to him, leading to an altercation that prompts an unknown male to get between the group and pull Ford away towards the elevators. Ford can be seen with the shirt that says LV on the back. As this is happening, John Doe number 1 and another individual identified for purposes of this affidavit as John Doe 3 walk into the restaurant and follow quickly towards where Ford exited out the frame along with others in the group. The group then re-enters the frame and Ford can be seen struggling with John Doe 3 and John Doe 1. So that's probably let's see. Who appear to be trying to remove Ford's necklace. See, 3 people, it means Ron, Ben, and it could be OG3, or it could be J Prince Jr. It says John Doe 2 joins in to help John Doe 3 and John Doe 1. John Doe 3 removes Ford's necklace and rushes out of the restaurant. So they grabbed his chain and got out of there. So John Doe 3 got out of there, rushes out. So that could be someone completely separate. Could be OG3, who knows? All right. So the struggle continues and John Doe 2 appears to remove Ford's watch and put it in his pocket, saying they got the Prezi. Maybe he got it back. It says Ford and John Doe 1 begun fighting with John Doe 2 and others in the group joining in. At some point, what appears to be a handgun falls on the floor from someone in the altercation. We don't know who. Ford then falls to the floor near where the handgun fell. Ford picks up the handgun and begins firing as everyone starts running. This really is a movie. This is some John Wick shit. I'm not going to lie to you. It says John Doe 1 appears to have been shot and immediately collapses to the floor, initially on his side before rolling onto his back. So that appears to be Ben 10. Appears to be. And so it sounds like Ron got the watch and put it in his pocket. It says John Doe 2 and others ran out of frame towards the elevator. So I guess that's him getting up and firing as everyone runs. Ford continues shooting as everyone's running away and shoots additional rounds in John Doe 2's direction as Ford follows outside the frame towards the elevator. So he gets up, starts shooting, starts blasting, and is running, I guess, towards the elevator here. And then it says Ford continues to where John Doe 1 is lying motionless on his back and fires. It doesn't make it clear if he ran backwards, but based on how that carpet here looks, it looks like he got up, ran over to the other side of the table, started shooting, and then it looks like he came back around this table to where this bent carpet is and then fired on Ben on the ground. Ford returns to where John Doe 1 is lying motionless on his back and fires another 2 rounds at him from a few feet away. John Doe 1's body jolts suddenly as one round appears to strike him before going motionless again. Ford paces around the floor for approximately 8 seconds as the female he was with attempts to interact with him. Ford then fires another round in John Doe 1's direction and exit the frame towards the elevators. This shit crazy, right? It says, yeah, never walk away. 10 getting arrested when he leaves the hospital. So this is crazy. This is actually insane that we've even got this paperwork. It's the walking back that might cook him. It really is the walking back that might be the problem. It says AllStar JR hasn't capped once, stood over him, saw him on the floor, saw the elevator close on Ron. Wow, he said he saw the elevator close on Ron. He did say that in his song. Ben's lucky he ran out of ammo and was only paralyzed. He was very close to losing his life. So that voodoo's real because he stood over Ben and somehow didn't have enough bullets. Someone watching over those NBA boys. For real. Okay. So we already heard that about him coming back. So this is another part that we didn't see. It says Ford then stands over John Doe 1 and strikes John Doe 1 in the face with the handgun. Upon doing so, the handgun falls to the floor behind Ford. Ford walks back, picks up the handgun, returns to John Doe 1 and appears to spit on him. Ford then exits the frame before briefly returning and exiting again towards the elevators. Another camera angle shows individuals running into the elevator during the shooting. Prior to the doors closing, John Doe 2 can be seen rushing into the elevator and collapsing inside as blood sprays from his leg. So that's when the door closed, the elevator door closed on Ron. So shortly after the door closed, Ford can be seen walking into the frame holding the handgun. He a cold shooter, man. What the hell? So there's a rumor going around that he was actually in Los Angeles when he got arrested, or in California. And the rumor going around is very unfortunate. They're saying Vlad gave the drop. Apparently he was on his way to a Vlad TV interview. Now, let's keep Vlad's name out of this. He didn't even get the interview. He didn't give JR, was about to pull up and snitch on himself to a whole nother level. Couldn't even get to that point. People saying clout really is this era's new crack. You're going to brag to the world that you put in work, and then you're going to do an interview where you damn well know what they're going to ask you. No wonder these dudes sipping on green. Are they allergic to freedom? Okay, they're allergic to that sweet American freedom. I don't know if this is a good comparison. Crack takes all of your money. Getting clout provides a lot of money, but I get what you say. Says, nah, he did too much speaking on it publicly and having people do the Ben 10 challenge. Said, I'm calling it right now. He'll tell the police something you all later on will call him a snitch for. It says, no way Vlad gave the drop before getting the interview. He's smarter than that. If feds were watching him, they knew he landed in LA probably and followed him around and booked him. I ain't going to say too much, but he DM'd me. He DM'd me after I dropped the video on the main channel about him. Say no more. But anyway, people are kind of waking up to the fact that it sounds like Ben 10 really is paralyzed. And, you know, people are kind of, you know, basically pointing out these details in there. They're saying JR pop dog, and then he stabbed off in the Cadillac, defensive player of the year, clutch player of the year. If 10 legs are gone, he might be MVP too. That's very disrespectful. Yeah, okay, well, let's not do too much of that, okay? But everybody's reacting to this footage of him standing over Ben, and people can't believe it's in Chiracology. The footage is there being shared. People saying Ben 10's lucky to be alive. He needs to just take his facials in peace and be glad he's alive, get off the internet, start a new life. He was going to end 10, but he ran out of ammo. He was trying to confirm that body. That's what they're saying. It says pistol whipped him, spit on him, and stood over him. Damn. Saying dudes need to stop disrespecting Detroit guys like they ain't all the way with it. How the hell he survived that? Saying he might have a case if it was truly not his gun. Realistically, is he supposed to let somebody else get hold of the gun and kill him? Saying he got a case regardless. Texas is a stand-your-ground state, but you can't stand over someone unarmed and shoot them. Saying this might be far-fetched, but I'm sure somewhere out there it's okay to shoot until the threat is done. He might need a good lawyer. It's entirely okay for the police. Says that generally refers to armed individuals. You're going to have a hard time arguing self-defense against an unarmed man you already put multiple rounds in, walked away and came back. The fact he was lifeless, yeah. He says it allows him to defend against an imminent threat of death or serious injury without a duty to retreat. How is he supposed to know Ben didn't have another gun? A good lawyer easily beats it. So no, JR went outside and got... No, JR went outside and got more ammo. He tried to finish it. It's not self-defense. He didn't get more ammo. That's why it didn't end up being a murder. He was saying the first picture's crazy. They're saying he's shooting like a Looney Tunes character. What are we saying? This one. I shouldn't laugh, man. That's actually crazy. But yeah, everyone's reacting to this Chiracology. JR standing over Ben 10. Says Ben's lucky that full 3X only holds like 7 shots. Apparently it holds 10 plus 1. But they drop in the new OEM mag next month that holds 15 plus 1, all right? CIA will be distributing that amongst the community to cause more death and destruction by the sounds of it. Says he also pistol whipped him and spat on him after the bullets ran out. People can't believe that that's true. Ben better thank God that he made it out of that situation alive, and he needs to start moving smarter. They're saying he's going to do the opposite. Saying he already did the opposite. So damn, he really tried to face him. Actually, crazy. Okay? Crazy. And they're reacting on crime in the D2. Obviously, this is big news. Okay. I thought there'd be more reaction to that. And of course, they're reacting on the dumb way, which is the Louisiana gang subreddit. And they're saying, even if he's paralyzed, Ben's lucky to be alive. He stood over him, and they're saying he's going to get off on self-defense. Nah, but how is Ben still alive? Says he's been charged with felon in possession, nothing to do with shooting people. Maybe they caught him with a gun. How is Ben alive? What the F? How was he shooting at him? It's crazy. Okay, they're saying I heard he had a Glock 43X. That made me want to change mine because I got that same stick. Right, it's saying never use a full 3X. It's a little snappy bitch. Ain't got no power. It's snappy. Right? People saying they're about to get rid of it. They're about to get rid of their full 3Xs, man. So obviously there's, you know, everybody's kind of talking about Ben being paralyzed. And if that's true, it's really crazy. 10's still here. That pic looked like he's gone, especially him laying down in the video. He looks dead, man. How you stand over someone like that and not kill them? 3-letter word and it starts with G. God or gun? You can decide. It says getting shot in your spine is usually what paralyzes people, not the legs. My BD took 8 shots in one leg, 5 in the other leg. He was sitting in the car with the window down, and dude ran up on him, robbed him, and still emptied the clip. He couldn't walk for a while, but with plenty of PT, he walks fine today. Took damn near a year, but thankfully he's back walking, working, etc. 10 gonna shake back. Minor setback for a major comeback. Small things to come. He gonna be all right. Okay. Just before he got arrested, though, JR was still taunting Ben 10. Saying that we told you Ben 10 was paralyzed. Ron lost his finger and 3-3 hid in the elevator. And this is him talking about it.
I wake up, all you hoe ass niggas
Why not hear that?
tagging me, talking
you guys
about,
are
nigga, you see Ben back? You see Ben back? Well, if the bitch so back, tell him to do the Ben 10. I'll double it for him. Fuck he talking about. Do that bitch, Ben. Nigga, this your dance. Get in your groove, nigga, if you back. I wake up, all you hoe ass niggas tagging me, talking about, nigga, you see Ben back?
So they're saying Ben back, saying if this, bruh, it's so disrespectful, man. It's crazy. It said that he didn't have feeling in his legs on April the 15th. They didn't say he was fully paralyzed, and that was a week ago. Okay, they're saying he hasn't left the bed in 2 weeks. He can't walk to the shower. You can get temporary paralyzation. His people are saying he's good. Physical therapy. He might be walking again soon. Okay, but yeah, that is pretty crazy. Okay, and I do wish Ben 10 all the best. I hope he is walking again soon. I hope that he's not permanently in a situation. Saying, I mean, duh, he's been in the bed for a week. Better try and do physical therapy or something like that. Whether you want to believe it or not, there's definitely something wrong with bro's legs. That's the only part of the body he hasn't shown or spoke about. Saying he's going to have to learn to walk again. It's common when you get shot multiple times. Grove Hero got shot in his back 3 times in the leg, was out of the hospital the next morning, so it can go different ways. People saying he better hope he can walk. It can change over time. I guess that's why he's still in the hospital. Other people saying he's never walking again. Maybe that's why he's still in the hospital. His feeling in his legs probably fucked up right now. If he was really 100% paralyzed, would they still have him in the hospital? Or is it possible he can just come back and do physical therapy? The way he got shot, he's going to be in the hospital for a minute, no matter if he got feeling in his legs or not. And Ben has been posting even more from the hospital. See this post going around earlier. I was talking about Ben gets an update. This is him getting his facial that was referred to earlier. He said, I see a lot of stuff on Twitter, X, and the caption ain't really what's going on. So let's see what he's saying. I doubt he's even saying that.
Another haircut. But you know, getting the facial, the fucking hospital. Yeah, I'm forever banging, nigga. Free the gunners.
So he said he forever banging, free the gunners, right? A lot of people have been speculating as to whether JR can actually beat it now with these charges. People saying he might beat it because the gun was left at the scene. Saying definitely beat. He might as well take it to trial. He coming home to a bag. Says, yeah, they can probably say the initial possession and use that as a reasoning. But really, after he left, the gun was abandoned. And plus, JR ain't no career criminal. With the right defense, he can definitely get off. It says they're trying to jam him up to get him to talk about the robbery so they can charge Jay Prince or 10 for the attempted robbery. He got to say they was beating his ass and he picked up their gun, but that's telling. He don't need to tell. It's in 4K. I agree. All right. But if it's that simple, he wouldn't even be locked up. They're trying to put a motive behind the situation to make more arrests. Obviously, he the victim. AllStar JR should say you don't really remember anything. He effed up when he walked back and stood over him. The threat was already neutralized. Kind of agree with that. Says, nah, he cooked, yo. This doesn't mean nothing when they got him on video standing over, bro. Kind of hard to fight that. But he's not charged with that. Unless it was a charge for an attempt, yeah, he cooked. But right now, they're only charging him with felon with possession of a firearm. Unless they plan on adding other charges, he can potentially beat the possession charge. It says, hitting a bystander don't help. And who is paralyzed? The innocent? Because they def would have said something. They def said someone don't got feeling in their legs, and I feel like we would have heard if it was 10. It's 10. Ron's the one who's had his finger amputated. Ben 10 is the one who didn't have feeling in his legs. Anyway, you get the gist. Okay, so is there anything else? I think that's everything that I had on this topic. Okay, but let me know what you guys think, man. I think AllStar JR is going to beat these charges, honestly, based on what I know. Even though he seemed like he did a little bit extra, did a little bit too much. he was under a serious threat, and I think he could probably make a good case that he thought there was still a threat, and he's not been charged with attempted murder, so that makes me think that's not what it is. Anyway, I'm going to do another David update on some of the stuff that's happened since I was at the courthouse. Shout out to everybody that pulled up for that. I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.